Hello, Ness Tilson here, and this is a short video to show how to build projects in with Polyboard. Polyboard, as we've seen in the last videos, is pretty good at setting up individual cabinets, creating all different parts of the cabinet, whatever the shape, the size, and creating all the different assembly details to build your cabinets. In this video, it's going to be a short video to show how, when you've got some cabinets, how to put them together and build, for instance, a kitchen. Of course, this is going to be around building a kitchen, but it can be around building anything, or assembling separate cabinets to build more complicated cabinets as well. Polyboard has got got a few specific functions for actually building kitchens or other sort of fittings that go into existing buildings, and this is what we're going to look at today. So let's get started, and this is a typical sort of kitchen layout which I've built very quickly in Polyboard. You can have a look at it pretty simply, and we're going to start one from zero and see how it goes. Right, here we go then. So here we are in Polyboard, and we're going to start now not a new bit of furniture, but we're going to start a new project. We have a project button here. Let's open a new project, completely new project. We come up with a project screen, and the project screen is going to allow us to sit in to draw in the existing building. In fact, we can draw two things. We can draw floors and we can draw walls, floors being horizontal surfaces and walls being vertical surfaces. So let's start. We right click and say we're going to put in first a new rectangular floor. Let's put in a floor that is about 4 meters long and say about 3 meters wide. That's going to be fine. And this is sort of a little image of the floor. Let's say that the floor is about 50 mil thick, and let's say that it's going to let's put in a texture on the floor. Now let's go into a texture library. I've created a little texture library here with specific textures, and we can put in, for instance, something like some tiles and some earth tiles here, and that's okay. And we can go into the 3D window and have a look at our floor slab. Here's our floor. That's fine. Now let's go into the projects window again, and now let's add some walls. We're going to add a new wall. Let's have a thickness to the wall. Let's say the wall is going to be about 100 mil thick. Let's say the position of the wall is going to be on the inside of the points I'm clicking, and let's say the wall height is going to be about 2.50 meters high, sort of standard height. We're not going to give any texture to this wall, so let's just rub off the texturing, and let's give it more a colour, so it's like as if it's painted. Let's say, for instance, let's give it a colour something like this. Let's give it a sort of greeny hue. Okay, that'll look nice and cool. And let's draw our wall. Like, let's say our wall goes from this point of the room to that point of the room to this point of the room. It's okay. And let's have a look at our wall now. And here we have the wall. We're going to try and put a kitchen in the corner here. These walls and these floors are we're just clicking on them, and the clicking, we can draw any shape that we want, which is quite neat. Right then, here we have our wall and our floor. Let's now let's put a window in this wall over here. I'll get rid of the 3D, and let's go over here, and let's say we want to add a window. So a window is just going to be another wall. but the wall, we're going to put a bit of wall, say from instance, let's put a wall from this point to this point. Let's say, yeah, let's make a small window here, this point to this point. Let's put the wall on the inside, and let's say that this particular wall is transparent, 100% transparent, and that the wall is actually up at 100, at 1 meter high, and that it is itself 1 meter high. I'm going to click OK, and now if we look in 3D, we've made a transparent wall within the main wall, and that will actually give us an opening like a window. But it just represents very quickly, very simply, the different space, 3D space that we're going to use to put our kitchen cupboards. Okay, here we have now our wall set up with our floor, which gives the 3D space that we want to install our cabinets. Let's now go and add the cabinets to the project. We're going to add different cabinet models to the project. Here we've got a library of cabinets, which is just a folder with different cabinets I've made before. I'll select them all and open them all to put into the project. Right, Polyboard has stuck them all here, and I have all the different cabinets I've made. Let's add a few cabinets now. Let's start in the corner over here by adding a corner cabinet, a base corner cabinet. Let's sling it over here and see what it looks like. Here we have the base corner cabinet. We'll just slung it in here quickly. Let's add some more cabinets. Let's put now next to it. Let's put a 2-door cabinet. Say a 2-door cabinet, which is going to stick it here. What we could do eventually is put a 3-door cabinet in next over here. Well, that doesn't look very good. In fact, what I prefer is to move that one over here, and let's put in some drawers here. Base cabinet with 3 drawers like that, so that the base cabinet with 2 doors can come in around here, and then 3 doors will go over this side. That's what that looks like. Yeah, that looks not too bad. Like, I can put a sink in here. In this cabinet we can use it to just put a sink in underneath the window, which would look pretty good. What we could do maybe is put some more drawers here. There's quite a lot of let's see what we can do over this side. Maybe this one here, we don't really want that one. Let's put some more, let's put some base cabinet with some drawers here, and then put a 2-door cabinet here. That what does it look like? Yeah, that looks a bit better, I think. Now let's take the one here and let's turn it around and put it on this side. Let's rotate the cabinet, and let's rotate this cabinet say 90 degrees. Sorry, that is not what I wanted to do. Let's rotate that cabinet minus 90 degrees, and let's see what it looks like on this side. That's a very big cabinet here, well, but why not? It could work out like that. Okay, that would be enough if we could put in, for instance, here the cooker, and this will be a cabinet just beside it, and let's put in a cupboard ended up here. What we could do is put the oven, put an oven here. If we put the cooker here and the oven here, we could have a look with an oven. Here's a cabinet with an oven that we can turn also 90 degrees so that it fits into, goes in the right side, and let's sling it on the end of this cabinet here and see what it looks like. Well, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good indeed. What we'll need now, for instance, is if the kitchen ends here, let's put in an end board here. We have a end panel. Let's put in the end panel. Let's put the end panel on here. It just clips on. Okay, that's not bad. It's all sticking. Right, let's put in some. Let's put in a bench top now. The bench top. We have some bench tops. Let's put in a bench top. Let's put in a corner bench top already. Corner bench top, which goes in over here. See what that looks like. Right, here we have now the corner bench top is in place. Let's put in the other bits of the bench top. Let's take in the simple bench top here, and let's say this simple bench top, we're going to dissociate it from the model. That means it's not going to be the one that we loaded, it's going to be a separate bench top. And let's say that we need this bench top here to fill in the space up to the end of the bit of furniture. To know the distance, the actual distance here, we're going to take the measuring tool, a horizontal measuring tool, which is going to give us the distance between this point and this point, which is 2316. And this particular bench top, we're going to give it the distance 2316. But as I want a bit of an overlap, I would like to give it a 30mm overlap. Let's make it 2346. That will give me a 30mm overlap. The bench top now is the right size, and let's click it into place, and here we have the bench top for this part of the kitchen. Let's do the same thing now for the other bit of part of the kitchen. We have here, let's take this bench top, let's take another bench top, which is the basic bench top. Let's dissociate it from the model, so we'll create a separate bench top size. Take the measuring tool, the horizontal measuring tool, and see what we have from this point to the edge of the cupboard, which is this point, 1050, and this time we want the size to be exactly that, 1050. Quit measuring, and this one here we will take a width of 1050, and we will do a turn on it. Let's rotate this one minus 90 degrees, and it should clip in nice and easy here, and see what it looks like. And here we have our bench top, which is clipped in to fit up to the cabinet, the kitchen cabinet with the ovens. Right, that's fine. Now let's add the upper cabinets. How do we go about adding upper cabinets? Well, that's just as easy. We choose the wall cabinets. Let's start in the corner, since the corner cabinet will give us the exact sizes. Let's start with the wall corner cabinet. Let's take it and let's just clip it into place. So what it looks like. We have the wall corner. That's fine. Now with the wall corner, we're going to build some units along here. We're going to clip some units onto it, so that the let's put some units. We can see the wall units. Let's put a glass cupboard, a glass door cupboard. Let's put a here we have a 2-door cupboard like that, and we see that here we have a little problem because the cupboard goes beyond the window. So let's size the cupboard so that we get the cupboard completely against the window, which would be nice. For that we're going to measure again. Let's measure the distance between the window and the end of this cupboard, which is 767. 767, that's fine. Let's quit the measuring tool, and this time let's go into this cupboard here, and let's dissociate it. Let's take a view so we can select it better. Take a front view. Okay, and this cupboard here, we will now make it dissociate it from the model, and the width will become 767. And now I'll clip it up against this one, and let's have a look what it looks like. Yeah, so now we have the cupboard, and it goes just up against the window. So this cupboard is a custom cupboard. It's not one of our standard cupboards. Well, in fact, with Polyboard we don't care really, because whether it's standard or custom sizes, the manufacturing is absolutely and exactly the same. All the manufacturing documents are updated in real time, and so everything that we're going to throw out into our CNC will, whether it's custom or standard, is of no difference at all. So here we are. Let's go back into our plan view to continue building our cabinets. Now we have here on this side here, let's say we want we have a little let's say we need some shelves just to make it look a bit better with some rounded shelves. Here we have this one here, and we can clip it onto the end of the wall here. So here we have our kitchen now. It's looking like this. We've got our shelf unit here, little quarter circle shelf unit. Let's now put a last cabinet over this side. What we could try to do is measure the horizontal distance to the end of the bit of furniture. That is the horizontal distance from this point here to the end of here, which is 550 millimeters. Let's take a one door glass cabinet here, one door glass. Let's put it down here and give it the, I can't remember what size it was now, hang on, model size measuring tool. The tool was from here, 550, right, 550, that's fine. Measuring tool. So this cabinet has to be 550 millimeters wide, and let's clip it into place. And now let's have a look at our project, and our project is looking pretty good, no real problems. Right, on this side we're thinking of putting a cooker over this double door here. So if we put in, I have a cooker stove top here. Let's put in a stove top. Let's zoom out a bit here, and let's put in a stove top. From here, let's turn it around. Let's turn it minus 90 degrees. Okay, so here we have a stove top. Let's clip the stove top onto that bit of furniture here, and it looks a bit like this. Now that looks okay. Now what we'll probably need is let's put in, we have a hood above the stove. Let's put in the hood. Here we have a hood. Let's turn this hood so that it moves in the right direction, 90, and let's put the hood in the same place. Here we have the hood in place now. This hood is just a cabinet. It's a cabinet with some weird textures and weird shapes put into it, but it is a regular cabinet. On the side here, let's put another. What looks quite nice. I like these windowed cupboards. Let's put another window cupboard on this side. Maybe a two-door window cupboard. See what it looks like. And a project here. Let's sling into the hood. Let's put. Well, what would be quite good is we put in a one-door window like this. Now let's turn it, rotate cabinet at minus 90. Let's put it in here. That probably fit in quite well. In fact, probably all it needs here. Although we could make, we've got a bit of space here. We could put in a something a bit more decorative here. Let's say, for instance, we're going to put that. We're going to put in another. Let's put in another. Let's back out of that. And before I put that one in, let's put in a wine rack. a wine rack. That's interesting to put in. Let's turn that around too. Rotate the cabinet here. Minus 90 degrees. And let's sling this one in here. Here's the wine rack. There's a cabinet in mid-air. And here we have a wine rack in place. And let's put the window cabinet, just a narrow window cabinet, if they put glasses or something like that, and we'll sling it in here. See what it looks like. So let's take that distance. The distance from the hood to the wine is 300. So let's take this one. Let's quit the measuring tool. Take this one, dissociate it from the model, and give it a width of 300 millimeters. And let's squeeze that one in there. And that's what. See what our product. Oh, that looks pretty good. There, our product looks pretty good there. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's. What we could do is we could put some tiling above the workbench. This side here. Let's see how we can put some tiling. Put some tiling. We're going to use, as we're not going to manufacture it. It's just decorative. So this is how I would do some tiling. I put use a wall. The wall. This time the wall is going to be the thickness of the tiling, and let's say the wall is only, let's say it's 10 mil thick. It will be on the inner side of where I'm going to be drawing. The height will be the height of the just above the workbench, which will be 850, and the height will be the distance between the workbench and the underneath of the upper elements, which upper cupboards, which will be about 500. And let's give it no colour, but let's find a texture for it. Now textures are a very good tool for textures I use is this one here. Jenica Viewer. You can choose loads of different tiles here. Now I've made myself a tile. With this tool you can just create image files, which you can then you can tweak these image files to create whatever you practically want as a texture. I've just made this one here, which is a little tile, which was started, I think, from what one? I think I used it as circle, something like this. Let's I've just added it to my texture library. So let's try and add another one. Creamy tile, marble tile. Let's take a marble tile, for instance. Here we have a marble tile. Let's just render it. It's rendering it now. We can change its color. There's lots of different parameters we can use to change the actual how it appears in the file. But this is pretty good stuff. Once it's rendered, we go, here's the results, and let's say that this is fine for us. Now we want to save it as a texture, and we're saving it as a texture into our texture library. I've already created quite a few. Creamy Marble Alternating it's called. Let's register that and let's save it. Creamy Marble Alternating. See what it gives. Just straight out of Jenica Viewer. So let's go into here. What do we have now? Do we have Creamy Marble Alternating with a seed? Oh, let's go to the right directory. Let's go to the right folder. CAD Tools, and I have textures here, and we should have Creamy Marble Alternating. Let's open that one. Right, now the wall that I'm going to build, that I'm going to draw, will have that texture automatically applied to it. So let's apply this. Let's apply this to above our furniture, and it goes up to here. This is a full height, and I say OK. And what do we have now? Here we have our tiles. The tiles we just made, which is not bad. Why not? Okay. The problem here, of course, is that we're actually we've tiled over the window, so we have to also, let's make a transparent bit of walling so that we get our window back. So transparent bit of walling would be add a new wall, using exactly the same thing on the inner side, but this time the elevation will be 850. That is just above the work. Well, no, it will be, sorry, it will be 1 meter. It will be just above the window, and the height will be also 1 meter, which will be just above the window, and the transparency will be 100. And this time we'll have to go into this window here. Yeah, so here we can just pull the point over to here, and that should give us the right distance for the window. Right, now we have these tiles which just match up to the window. It's a bit awkward to actually see where the window was, but that's the way it is. Okay, so that's the kitchen. Now that was pretty easy to do. What's interesting now, of course, is that all the bits of furniture that we've actually put into the project, all these bits and pieces, we, as usual, we have all the cutting lists and all different parts with the machining files, and we can export into DXF and different post processors, and they'll all go straight onto your CNC machine, or give you all the working drawings so that you just start making it. Right then, I really hope that's been of interest to you, and I showed you how easy it is to set up your projects with Polyboard, and the images that you can get quite easily are pretty nice to show the customer. We can get better images still if we export the DXF file and put it into some other software. We can get photorealistic images, but already this is pretty neat to just throw it up and go out and show what you can do. Right, thank you very much for having watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video very soon. Goodbye, thank you.